Hi, everyone. This is Mary Kwiatkowski and Sasha Joseph with RHAP, getting ready to speak again with our winner of season one of Destination X, Rick. Oh my gosh, Rick, congratulations.
Sasha, Mary, can you believe it? You're the
We called
We did
it.
call it.
We called it.
Yeah,
you're the first people. You're the first people I can actually say in public, I won.
I
I won.
know. I
I
know.
was
Oh
the one winner.
my
Ah!
It's so exciting. We have
God.
so much to get to. We definitely want to congratulate you. So glad that we just happened to talk to you mid-season. Looking back now, this is really
Smart.
great. Yeah, exactly. Really great that that happened. But yeah, what has it been like? I mean, I don't even know if you've seen the episode yet, but what has it been like knowing for all of this time, right? That you've won and that you're just waiting for it to air.
Well, 8 months goes by from when we got
Wow.
off the bus until today. And not being able to tell anybody except my strict closest family, my wife and my kids and their wives. Like, it's been so hard. Like, I haven't even told my parents. Like, they're in town today to watch the finale with me and all my friends. They have no idea. No clue. All my closest friends that I talk to every day, all my, my employees, like everybody I'm with have no idea. And so like today it's going to be just because they're rooting for me, of course, but they don't think I'm gonna win. They don't think the old can pull it off. Like everyone's rooting for Biggie and Peter, but like, all right, little underdog, Rick's taking it to the end. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really amazing, that with the final three being what it is, you've got Peter, who's been on reality TV shows before. You've got Biggie, who's got kind of an underdog story in that he had never, been out of the United States, but has very
Right.
clearly been a extremely strong social player throughout the game. And then you, who I think like let's go back. Episode one, you get called out by Josh when he leaves. What an arc to get all the way here.
I was trying to play nobody sees Rick. I can just blend into the side of the bus. I'm just the old guy. They call me dad, right? Jonah slipped up and called me dad. Like that was the whole point, being the fun uncle. Like I wasn't supposed to be front and center. And then when Josh said Rick's a snake, don't trust anything that comes out of it. Like my game was blown up. That was it. And you can see for 2, 3 days on the bus, nobody wants to sit by me. Nobody
Hmm.
wants to talk to me. Like I am toxic. And so you can't play that friendly guy where everyone just talks to you and cries on your shoulder. Like you can't do any of that when nobody will even look at you. So Josh totally messed up my game.
He was
I
just
had to do,
making good TV so that when you win, it,
Yeah.
it looks really impressive.
it didn't feel good living through that, believe me. I thought I was going home. Like believe me, game done. Over.
Yeah, and and to add to that, right? Then we had the conversation with Rachel, and the fight with Rachel. Then we had you versus Kim as well, which we talked about in your mid-season check-in as well. But now, now that you can fully talk
Yeah.
about it, yeah, I'd love to know, was it really just Peter and Janae coming in that was like the moment where you said, okay,
The only way I could have won
right,
had the only way is because they came on the bus. Like Rachel didn't like me. Kim didn't
exactly.
like me. Mac had it out for me. They were all like I was gonna be 5-on-1 eventually because nobody wanted to work with me. And I tried being on their side. I tried being friendly, but just what Josh had said, like nobody wanted to trust me. And it was, and I think as the game went on, they were kind of onto me because I had said, "Oh, I've never traveled before." But how can you have never traveled but still know everything about every city or know all the cities and all the countries? Like they were coming to me for, answers or help me noodle on this clue because they saw me as strong in geography. But that it didn't work when I was like, I've never traveled. I stay at home in the restaurant. I've got a busy family life. So a lot of that was not true. But like I told myself, I'm going to play the game where I'm not going to put a target on my back. So if anybody's asked if I've traveled, the answer is always no. But there's so many parts of your lives where if you haven't traveled, you have to fill in that story, that gap with something else. And
Hmm.
I was starting to play a game where nobody really knew the true Rick. It was just this version that I was telling people because I had so many gaps in my story. And that's why they started like not trusting me is they're like, something's not quite right with Rick.
Yeah.
It's true.
Were you trying to come up with like excuses for why you would know these things based on kind of
Yeah,
the
I
story you
took
were
a
telling?
I took a page out of Biggie's book, right? I just studied a lot, but also I'm, in my mid 40s, so just by way of living through life,
Hmm.
watching TV, watching movie, you pick up knowledge that a 20-year-old won't have just because I've lived through. I love games, I love trivia, just saying stuff like that. When in fact, like every destination I'd been to, like I'd been to every single exit location just because I love traveling. Um, it's not because I'm rich. It's just because like I choose to travel. That's my hobby. That's what I do. That's what I do for bird watching. That's what I do with my family. Like we moved our family to Africa for 5 years, like mission work and stuff. Like, but I didn't tell anybody that because that puts a target on your back. You just got to
Yeah.
be quiet. So like when Allie came on the bus and said, "Oh, I've been to all these countries," and Max like, "I backpack ever." I'm like, guys, where's the strategy here? You got to be a little quiet about maybe how good you're gonna be. That's the game I played.
Yeah, and that's something Mary and I actually we just wrapped up our coverage of the finale, and that's something we are talking about. That what you did really well is you were able to keep your mouth shut, right? And I'd love to know, right, being in such close quarters, like how were you able to do that? And there are multiple reasons things that you were able to not share.
Yeah.
The biggest, obviously, being poor Biggie, right? Like realizing in the portrait hall the biggest drop that you and Peter were, close. But I love to know, yeah, like how were you able to like keep your mouth
Yeah.
shut?
So imagine 30 days on a bus, 24 hours a day. All you have to do is talk. There's no phones, there's no music, there's no clock. So you're just talking all day long. And part of talking is building rapport with people. So Sasha, you tell me, this is what like Allie said. So imagine you're Allie and you're like, "Hey, I was in Machu Picchu last year hiking the Inca Trail." And now Rick, I'm like, "I've done that. I've been to Machu Picchu.
Mhm.
I've hiked the Inca Trail. I so desperately want to say, I've done that too. Let's connect and remember together all the things we did." But instead, I'm like, "No, I've chosen to keep that quiet." So then I have to go, "Oh, Sasha, amazing. Allie, tell me about the Inca Trail. Tell me everything about it." And I'll ask probing questions to be
Mhm.
friendly, to be inquisitive. But in the whole time, I want to share my experiences and I want them to connect with me as the traveler, as the content creator. I just couldn't do that. And that
Mhm.
is where like you see a lot of emotions in me in the confessionals because I'm so desperate to try to connect with these people individually, but I've chosen to eliminate that part of me, which is the fun part of Rick. And I've left with just this shell of, "Oh, I'm kind of boring. I'm a restaurateur." I mean, it worked. It made me win, but when they all got off the bus and they Googled Rick and they're like, "Oh wait, he's a content creator. He's been all over the world." Their minds are blown.
Yeah.
But I didn't blow my cover once. Like I kept for 30 days the facade up and it worked. But it was the hardest way to play this game because you can't mess up. You cannot falter. Playing the middle road and playing both teams, it's the hardest way to play reality because you're gonna mess up unless you got your A game, and it just happened to work for me.
And it's interesting because in other reality shows, we've seen that people have a really hard time maintaining those lives, or they feel like they can't connect to people, which is doubly different if part of the show is, having a jury or something vote for you to win. Because if that was the case in Destination X and you get to the end, everyone's like, "Well, we don't even know Rick," right? We don't know the real him, which would be kind of difficult. Because of the nature of the show, it ended up advantaging you. But so when you get to the hall and you're having this showdown with you and Biggie and Rick, it becomes pretty obvious pretty quick, at least on the show, that it's you and Peter against sorry, Peter and Biggie. It's you and Peter against Biggie. And then obviously it comes out and Biggie is told that. What did you think about the way that Jeffrey Dean Morgan kind of probed that of like, hey, do you guys have an alliance or are you just really afraid of Biggie?
Well, it all started on that yacht in Monaco.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Oh, what went through my mind? I was so mad at Jeffrey when
Yeah.
I had lied about the pine cones painted white in my box, and I thought I got away with it. I thought Biggie's none the wiser. We're gonna go to the finale with Pete, my guy, and Biggie, who thinks he's my guy, and I'm just playing the middle. Like they would both, they would both choose me as their number one.
Hmm.
Where you want to be in the finale, and then Jeffrey ruins it. He says, "What's in your box, Rick?" And I go through all the permeations, like, can I lie about
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
But no, Jeffrey wants to show how smart he was with the clues. He wants to show clubs, diamonds, hearts, spades. So, like, I can't lie. I
You didn't
can't
think you
make
didn't think about saying like, oh, pine cones, like, like the little pieces of each pine cone kind of looks like a diamond.
no.
I'm assuming you can't use production, right, as strategy, which is like a thing on Big Brother where you can't lie about your powers.
No, no. So it was gonna come out. Had I said pine
Yeah.
cones, he would have been like, "Is that true, Rick?" And no.
Wow.
So I knew
That's
going
rough.
into the finale, like there was damage control to be done. Like that
Hmm.
night on the bus, I was like, "Hey, Biggie, let's talk about this." I was just looking out for myself. Like it was, I know I lied to you, but look, we're down to the final three. You're still my guy. Like all that stuff. And I also said, like, I didn't know it was going to be just one challenge. I thought there'd be two. So I was going to tell you if we had a second challenge. Like, at that time, I didn't know. Like, so you got to, like, backtrack to keep him, like, oh no, Rick's not a snake. I'm a snake. So when the finale comes, and now it's really 1v1v1, but I told Peter if there's still a challenge, we're gonna have to use each other because we really want to be the two at the end. So it
Right.
was at that point we're more like, yeah, we are ganging up against Biggie, and it felt bad. Like it felt really bad. But also like they have a chance to save themselves. Just get some of the questions right. Just answer the. So it came pretty obvious who had the knowledge and who didn't. And even Peter couldn't save himself in some of these where I'm thinking, do I need to sacrifice and get the answer wrong to move me back so that I'm not forcing Peter back because Biggie's all the way as far back as possible? So all these are going through my mind, and then I'm like, nope, I'm not going to sacrifice my game. If they can't answer them right, I'm staying at the front. Let them duke it out. It's not me. Yeah.
Did you ever move back at all?
No. Like I stayed at the front. Like it was
It
I
was interesting because even after everything you did there of
they were not
lying
gonna
to
pick up on
Biggie,
me.
they
Yeah.
never moved you. Yeah.
I
Because
think it was too late.
they were
Yeah.
like, there's no point moving Rick back because at that point it was just the two of them duking it out for second place.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
moving me back was going to be a waste because I was going to get the next one right and I'll move myself forward. So
Right.
it felt good, but it also felt pretty crappy at the same time because I'm seeing them way back there.
Yeah. So when it came down to the decision of, all right, I want it to be me and Peter in the final two. Did you consider at all that it might have been easier to beat Biggie in whatever the end round would be, or were you really just sticking to your alliance? Like what helped in that decision?
Oh, I thought I could beat either one of them.
Okay.
Okay. So at
It,
that
it
point you
didn't.
just wanted to keep your word to Peter?
Yeah, to me it was like Peter's the only reason I'm in the finale. Had he and Janae not come, I would
Yeah.
have been gone in Amsterdam because it would have been everybody against me. So because they were there and I had made it, that was my only real alliance. Biggie and I didn't have like a handshake, pinky promise. We were just bunk mates and we talked at night. We were friendly. We did not have an alliance. You remember like on episode 2 when Josh threw me under the bus and I went to everybody. I'm like, hey, who wants to work with Rick? Every single person looked at me and was like, "Nope, don't want to work with you. Don't want to." So like,
Yeah.
I tried. Nobody wanted to be on Team Rick. So screw you guys. Like, I'm gonna take Janae and Peter, and then I'm gonna run the tables. And I got every single one of them out one by one by one.
Wow. Hey,
Yeah.
it worked out.
But then like, it is a game, right? It is a
Yeah.
game. Like, I want people to know at home, like my family is like watching, going, yeah, that's Rick the game player, not Rick the person, not Rick the dad, Rick the family guy. Like I was playing a game, and I was playing to win for my family. Yeah,
And hello, this is not America's Next Best Friend. Let's make that very clear, right? Like this one person, only one person can win, and you're not on, you met these people a month ago, right? Like max. Some even like you met for a day or two, whatever, when you met Josh. And that's it. Like we're here, we want good TV. We don't want like everyone be Peter's pals, right? And just like have fun and let's move on. It's just come on, like get over yourselves, guys. No, so I really appreciate this kind of
thank you,
gameplay because
thank you,
I
Sasha.
think that that's what's missing in like current shows, reality TV. Like it's just we're missing cutthroat people.
In the finale, I think you'll find it interesting how they put it all together. We're gonna see you both look at some clues and then guess some locations. And
Yeah,
we see that you guess Big Ben, and then Peter guesses a different location.
So imagine me. I know I'm going to place Big Ben. You're handed the tablet through the window. They say go, and I frantically zoom into London as fast as I can because it's zoomed out to Europe. So I zoom into London, and I know Big Ben is on a river by a bridge. We had seen it from the helicopter. So zoom in, zoom in. We'd also seen it from the Eye of London, the Ferris wheel that we started with. I can't find it. I cannot find it. It takes me 20, I think, I don't know. I don't know what the edit shows, but it takes me in my mind like 20 seconds to find Big Ben. And I'm convinced that Peter found it faster.
Oh,
So the whole drive over, I'm thinking I lost because Peter got it first. He got it faster. He figured out the clues better than I did. And so when we get up to the top, I'm expecting Peter to walk out of the shadows and say, "Gotcha, I'm already here. I won the prize." And so when they had the briefcase there, I was for sure that it was empty because
yeah.
Peter already. And I kept looking. I'm like, I even said, like, "Where's Peter? Where's Peter?" And they're like, "Peter's not here." And that's when I'm like, "Oh, maybe there is a chance."
Wow.
And so when I open the briefcase, like I'm like shocked. Like I
Wow.
start crying. Like and out from the shadows doesn't come Peter, but comes Jeffrey Dean Morgan. And we embrace. I'm already crying. He starts crying. He's like,
Yeah.
"Rick, I don't cry for these types of things. Like this is not normal. There's something special about this moment." And like I'm tearing up thinking about it. That was the crowning moment of like realizing that I did it.
Wow.
I'd gone through the adversary of the ups and the downs on the bus, all the clues, all the missteps, all the strategy work came to this, and I won. And then I'm not sure if they show it, but then we go down to the bottom, and I get to call my wife.
Yes.
I
Yep.
share the
Yep.
news. Oh, that was the best. Just to tell her, I haven't spoken to her in weeks, and I'm like, I did it, and she's ecstatic, of course, and then it's all right. You can't tell anybody though. Keep this, top moment of your life quiet for months and months and months until today. So, like, um,
Yeah, my first guess was Buckingham Palace. I was like, $100. Like, of course, it's Buckingham Palace. This
so
damn
Yeah.
lady.
that could be anything in London. That was our first clue.
And then funny enough, when
Anything.
you zoomed in, right, like it said Elizabeth Tower. That's when I said, oh, so
Nobody
Big Ben
knows
has
it
Elizabeth.
as that.
Whew, I agree with you. I wouldn't either. It was just really interesting. And that's what I wanted to know about your experience like in London, right? It's so different. No VR headsets, really. It was all on you, right? Like with clues, which I really enjoyed watching.
Yeah.
So how was that? Where now it's like a complete 180 from what your brain has kind of been like doing, right? Where you're like, okay, I just kind of take my VR headset, do this, and now it's like I'm on a scavenger hunt.
I love these. Like, I love the Amazing Race. I felt like this was the scavenger hunt across the city. I can do this. I love escape rooms. I mean, I love trivia games. Like, this was built for me. When I say that Destination X was built for Rick, like in my casting video, I said, please don't cast me. It's not going to be fair to the other people. Like, I am going to be too good at this game. Um,
Well,
I
you
knew I
should
was.
edit that now with your win.
I knew the social part I would struggle with because I'm older than everybody else, and I'm going to play a different type of social game. But I knew if it came down to figuring out clues about a city, I've been to London a few times. I've been to most of those places. Like it was fine. It was good. We didn't get any wrong. We just zipped through. The hardest part was the traffic, and I'm like,
Hmm.
is the traffic going to hold me back? And they're like, no, no, no. The traffic doesn't count. They'll account for that. So yeah, it's fine.
Wow. Well, it was very exciting watching all of it. We were rooting for you, and I think both, like Sasha said earlier, we're really happy with how intense you were in the game and how much you
Hmm.
were gaming with it and actively trying to win. It was very clear you were there for the game, for the win. So we both really appreciated that. Um, But tell us again, Rick, where everyone can follow you and check out all of your other social media stuff.
Yeah, and what's next for you?
Yeah.
We'd
Yeah,
love to
thank you.
know where your next steps are. Reality TV question mark? Big brother?
Put me on another show. I had the time of my life. I will
Gotta
bring
get
this.
you on The Amazing Race.
I will bring the
Yes.
same intensity to Destination Next to the next show. Put me
Mhm.
on. My wife and I would make a great Amazing Race team. We would be the power couple. Once again, it wouldn't be fair to anybody else. Um, you can find me on Instagram or YouTube at Birding with Rick. If you like birds, you're gonna love my content.
Great. Thank you so much, Rick. Congratulations again.
Thanks, Mary. Thanks, Sasha.
Thank you.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.